thank you all for being here tonight. I do want to take a moment to welcome and thank our many special guests that are here this evening. Brigadier General Jason Woody Woodworth, Commanding General, Marine Corps Installations West. Rear Admiral Brad Rosen, Commander, Navy Region Southwest. Brigadier General Jason Morris, Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego and Western Recruiting Region. Captain Ken Franklin, Commanding Officer, Naval Base Point Loma, and President of the Audiovisual Club in high school. Until he was impeached. Captain Kim Davis, Commanding Officer, Naval Medical Center, San Diego. Captain Ted Carlson, Commanding Officer, Naval Base, San Diego. Captain Jim Spittler, Commanding Officer, Coast Guard Sector, San Diego. Lieutenant Colonel Michael White, Commanding Officer, Headquarters and Headquarters Squadron, and representing Colonel Marty Bedell from Marine Corps Air Station, Miramar. Clearly brought his own cheering section there, thank you. And Warrant Officer Cross, representing Captain Dwight Clemens, Woody Clemens at Naval Base Coronado. By the way, SDMAC certainly wishes Captain Clemens and Captain McKissick the very best for their change of command tomorrow morning. Looking forward to that. That's exciting for them. A special thank you to our award sponsor, USAA. For several years now, USAA has been our principal sponsor for our Achievement Awards event. Please help me in thanking David Deary, the Regional Medical Liaison, and USAA for their support. Our dinner sponsor this evening is the USS Midway Museum. Thank you for your continued support of SDMAC and our foundation. And I would ask you all to express your appreciation to the USS Midway Museum staff over here. And finally, I want to give a special shout out, although not necessarily by name, but an extremely strong presence from San Marcos here, Cal State San Marcos in the city. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate having you here and great to see you. Now it's my pleasure to turn over control of our festivities to our special guest this evening, Amy Forsythe. An award-winning military journalist, Amy began her career as a Marine combat correspondent, serving 5 tours, supporting combat operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. Her active duty time with the Marine Corps, and now as a lieutenant commander in the Navy Reserves, has had her serving across the globe. But it was her first duty station at Camp Pendleton that established a special bond and led to her writing her recently published book, Heroes Live Here, a tribute to Camp Pendleton Marines since 9/11. Please join me in welcoming Amy Forsythe.
Thank you, Paul. What an honor it is to be here this evening and SDMAC's signature event. So SDMAC has always believed that one of the greatest strengths of San Diego is the unique relationship between the military and the community of San Diego. And we are fortunate to have a community, civic, business, and military leaders who work together to foster that strong relationships and are very supportive of the men and women serving our country and their families. And Paul asked me to spend a few minutes and tell you a little bit about myself and what drew me to serving in the Marines. I grew up just north of San Francisco in the backdrop of what used to be a really strong military town. My grandfather was a Marine Amtracker, Marine officer, and my grandmother was an Army nurse. And they met during World War II in Guam, and actually Saipan, as the story goes, and they were the all-American couple. They came home after the war, moved west to California, and raised a family. I spent a lot of time with them and was so inspired by their stories of service and lifelong friendships that they had made. Another draw for me joining the military were the Fleet Weeks, and they worked as designed. So we would go to San Francisco and watch the Blues perform, and I remember seeing the sailors and Marines walking up and down Broadway, and I just knew I had to be a part of that group. Most of my family really didn't believe that I actually was going to join the Marines, but those doubts turned into fuel for me to do something epic like be a combat correspondent, which I didn't know at the time would take me around the world. I knew that if I could master using a camera and learn to tell stories, I could be of service in a meaningful way. And I've had the good fortune of interviewing hundreds of our service members and taking thousands of photos of them in action. And the one common theme is it takes so much great courage to wear a uniform, kit up, step off to the unknown, that sharing the courage for nearly 30 years has truly been my life's calling and has taken me around the world to places like Iraq, Afghanistan, Romania, Poland, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Niger, and many other places around the world. But after living on Guam for nearly 5 years, from 2015 to 2020, my husband and I came back to North County, where I'd lived for many years with so many memories from those deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, and I'll call those the hard years, where Camp Pendleton was the home to many of our troops serving in Iraq and Afghanistan. But it's now a place that has preserved much of the legacy with the memorials and tributes. I knew I had something to share with the world. The dust had settled and cleared, and most people have moved on. But I asked myself, does the next generation really know the history of the land where tens of thousands of Marines, sailors, and their family members had called home over the past 80 years? The base is named after Major General Joseph Pendleton, and that's how I came up with the idea to write Heroes Live Here. He served all over the world and returned to this area where he loved so much, and he actually was the mayor of Coronado, but died just shortly before the base was dedicated in September 1942. But since then, it's been home to our warfighters during World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. And in my research for the book, I learned that more Marines and sailors from Camp Pendleton were killed or injured during Iraq and Afghanistan than any other one base or station in America. So that is a heavy burden for any one community in our country. But it was also a great source of pride and patriotism, and also a great time of sorrow and sadness. But the tributes that are on the base are second to none. And San Diego is second to none for patriotism and supporting our troops and their families, and one of the strongest, if not the strongest, network of veterans in all of America. And thanks to you, our veterans and their family members who continue to serve our country, and our industry partners who continue to step up and show up for our heroes. We see you, we love you, and we thank you. And with that, let's begin our presentation to honor our wonderful service members here tonight. In addition to recognizing a local nonprofit and an amazing individual lifetime award, this year, SDMAC will honor the achievements of one active duty sailor, Coast Guardsman, or Marine from each of our local installations. The installations awards are once again presented in the memory of Nancy Dix, one of the founders of SDMAC, and an individual who inspired many in her dedication to our community and our military. For each of the awardees being presented, I will first call up the installation commander and then the award recipient. We ask that the installation commander make a few brief remarks about the winner and present the trophy. The award winner is welcome to then make any desired remarks, and we will ask for you to pause for photographs and presentations right here for certificates from Congressman Scott Peters, California Senator Tony Atkins, and Mayor Todd Gloria. Okay, here we go. Wonderful. Captain Jim Spittler, please come up and present the award for Coast Guard Sector San Diego and the Coast Guard's award winner, Petty Officer Ryan Caro.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here to present the Achievement Award to YN3 Ryan Carroll. He's the engine room of the yeoman shop at Sector. So as you know or may know, we have about 500 people, active duty and reservists. He is the primary point of contact for all pay, TDY, PCS, all the benefits we have to maintain. He's the person that we go to. So he's been performing at the E5 level for quite a while. He's also volunteers throughout the community. He does partnership in education. He's a mentor for young youth, and he does some pretty neat stuff. Who in the room is familiar with Navy SEAL David Goggins? We got some hands up. So 4x4 by 48. Ryan has done that twice, which is you run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So your weekend is tough, but it's pretty impressive. Come on up, Ryan.
Thank you and congratulations. Next up, we invite General Morris to present the MCRD Award to Sergeant Brady Letter.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, admirals, generals, members of the community. Thank you so much for allowing me to recognize my great Marine, Sergeant Brady Letter. He was the FY21 MCRD San Diego Marine of the Year. He is a man of all trades. He's an infantryman. He's done a couple of combat tours with 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, but at Weapons Field Training Battalion, he has been a primary marksmanship instructor. He has been a field company instructor. He has run the barracks. He's done basically everything that the Marine Corps has asked him to do and helped train over 6,000 young Marines to become United States Marines. And he is just a super young NCO, a leader in his own right, and he is just doing great things. He's due to become a drill instructor here in April, so he's taking the next step, and his lovely wife is here. She is going to OCS for the Marine Corps in January. So great opportunity to recognize both of them tonight. So Sergeant Letter, come on up.
Thank you and congratulations, Sergeant Letter. Next up, we invite Lieutenant Colonel Michael White to present the Marine Corps Air Station Miramar Award to Corporal Lydia Slama.
Generals, admirals, distinguished leaders within the community. It is my pleasure to present this award to one of my Marines. And I have the fortunate ability as a CO to have about 1,100 Marines and civilians that work for me. Corporal Salma, every day puts a huge smile on my face when I come into work, right? Within our installation, the air station can't function without an ability of our military police to secure the entry and exit points and make sure that good order and discipline occurs on that base. The Marines can go and do the work that they need to do to project power forward every day. Not only is she a military police officer, she actually takes a step above that, and she's a military working dog handler. The hours that she puts into her job and her profession is tantamount to amazing. Not only that, she finds the time to do wonderful things out in town, give back to her community at every opportunity. And she continues to grow in her civilian education and working in that as well. So how she finds the time to get any sleep, I don't know. but truly deserves a round of applause, was my Marine of the Quarter, and probably a potential future Marine of the Year for this year. So let's put our hands together for her.
Congratulations and thank you. Next up, we invite Chief Warrant Officer 3 Cross to present the Naval Base Coronado's Award to Petty Officer First Class James Hernandez. He's looking for an entryway up here. Come on up. Okay.
Good evening to you all. On behalf of Captain Clemens and Captain McKissick, I'm honored and proud to be here to present this award to CS1 James Hernandez. I'm very proud because he is actually one of my guys. And you know, it hits a little bit more that way. I mean, as a galley watch captain, he serves over 2,400 meals daily, supervising 18 personnel. And we have 150 tenant commands that we are in charge of and feeding on board Naval Base Coronado in North Island. And I'm just so proud to be and honored to be up here for him. And I thank my CO and XO for letting me be here. So come on up there, shipmate.
Thank you and congratulations. Next up, we invite Captain Ted Carlson to present the Naval Base San Diego Award to Petty Officer First Class Charlene Maxwell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. SDMAC, thank you so much for allowing me to recognize one of my finest sailors, Culinary Specialist First Class Maxwell. Petty Officer Maxwell runs my galley, plain and simple, and that is no easy feat. I am in charge of Naval Base San Diego, the second largest naval base in the Navy, and we have over 214 tenants, 60 warships, and over 40,000 people working on board the base every day, and that galley prepares over 1,500 meals a day. And earlier this year, when we were combating COVID, and we had a number of ships locked up before deployment, she was in charge of serving over 3,000 box meals to those sailors, and she did it flawlessly and an outstanding job. She oversees and manages a $2.5 million budget. I talked about the meals prepared, and just to let you know how good they were, we have been nominated twice for the NAY Award and also 5-star accreditation for the last 2 years. So please give me a round of applause for CS1 Maxwell. Did you want to give a speech?
Thank you, San Diego MAC, for putting this together for us. I greatly appreciate the recognition from my leadership, and thank you to my amazing husband for his unwavering support in my career. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Great job.
I'm sorry, I do have to point out she is a dual military family, and next year she's going to Japan, or they are going to Japan.
Wonderful. Thank you. Next up, we invite Captain Ken Franklin to present the Naval Base Point Loma Award to Petty Officer First Class Tyler Rodriguez.
Hello and good evening. As a commanding officer for Naval Base Point Loma, it's a distinct honor to be hosting tonight at Naval Base Point Loma. We're not the second largest naval installation. We're the third or the fourth. Depending on which way you're looking, we're the maybe the largest small installation or the biggest small installation, I guess. But you can't beat the view, right? So thank you to SDMAC for putting this together. And I do want to give a shout out to the entire SDMAC staff and Christina and Admiral Peregrine for putting this all together. And I do want to give a shout out to the staff. If we could just give them a round of applause for the staff who are supporting tonight. So thank you for that. So it's a privilege tonight to be honoring Pedro Rodriguez. He's a young sailor, I have to say. Just talking to him and his lovely wife, Summer, I have T-shirts older than they are, and they're college T-shirts from when I was at Florida State. So that's a little embarrassing for me. Maybe it's time for me to go, Admiral. Find another line of work. But so he was born and raised in Hanford, California. Married his wife, Summer, in May of 2016. They have one 3-year-old daughter, Mila. So they've been together for a couple years. But Pedro Rodriguez, he has got years and years of experience of just doing really great things. He was promoted third-class petty officer, when he got to his first duty station at Naval Air Station Lemoore. In 2016, he was in Bahrain, serving with the Harbor Patrol Unit when he was handpicked to be one of the first sailors to ever qualify a Level 2 coxswain there. In 2017, he graduated top coxswain from the Level 2 course in Little Creek. In 2018, at Naval Base Guam, he was selected for Sailor of the Year there as a member of the Harbor Patrol Unit. In 2019, he was selected for Sailor of the Year as member of Security Department. And he just reported here in, January of last year. And we selected him to be our Security Department leading petty officer. So kind of the head first-class petty officer in our Security Department. We've also selected him to be our anti-terrorism training coordinator, or ATTT coordinator, which is no small task. And he has just absolutely crushed it ever since he took on that responsibility. And as you'll find, please sit and talk to him and his wife. He is a consummate professional. See, he led our security team through 2 major assessments with a score of 90% on the Region Training Assist visit and a 93% just a couple weeks ago during our CART, which is that is no small feat right there either, which is the Command Assessment for Readiness and Training. He's also our Command Fitness Leader, so and the President of the First Class Petty Officer Association. So he's got a multitude of duties, and it's a real pleasure, and I think he's most deserving of this award and recognition tonight. So give him a round of applause, please. Come on up.
Thank you and congratulations. Next up, we invite Captain Kim Davis to present our final Nancy Dix Award to Lieutenant Commander Adeline Ong from Naval Medical Center, San Diego.
All right, good evening, colleagues, community partners. Thank you, SDMAC, for the opportunity to recognize excellence here. So this evening, I have the opportunity to show gratitude for an absolute rock star. So at our command, I manage 6,000 medical professionals here in the area where we have the largest concentration of fleet and Marine forces. We're focused on warfighter readiness, medical force development, and high-quality health care. Commander Ong serves as our director, our associate director for mental health, and she has a superhero power. And I'm going to say this because her darling 7-year-old son is here, Alex, who I am going to have come up with you, Commander Ong, to show her both her professional and her personal success. And her superhero power is the ability to connect people, to collaborate, and ensure that our area here in San Diego has the best mental health system that we could possibly have. We talk a lot about no wrong door, and she has worked really, really hard with Fleet and Family, Marine Corps counseling centers, with our local community partners, and established amazing things. For example, this year we just helped collaborate to open Surfpack's mental health clinic. So again, super, super proud of her. She has served on board ship, in combat zones, overseas, and with the Marines, and we are so lucky to have her at Balboa. Commander Ong, please come on up and be recognized. And Alex, too.
Thank you, and congratulations. Congratulations.
Good evening, leaders. It's such an honor to be here and to be recognized alongside all of these amazing, incredible sailors and Marines. We truly are living in unprecedented times with COVID and economic stressors. I've been in Okinawa taking care of families and retirees and Marines, airmen, and sailors in Okinawa, actually went back to Yokosuka in the immediate aftermath of the tsunami. And that was a super interesting time when family members were evacuated off the island and active duty remained in Japan to, take care of the mission, the military mission, still continue the military mission. Even through all those times and in combat, it's so clear that family readiness is such an important part of warfighter readiness. It's part of the mission, and mental health, during these unprecedented times with all these new stressors, it's so much an enormous added stress on all our families, and it's incredible to see all these sailors and Marines still thriving, taking care of their fellow warfighters and giving back to the community, and I'm so honored to be here to be recognized alongside all of them. I wanted to thank my CEO and my staff all. I really couldn't have been in this place and have succeeded as much as I have without all of their support. And I want to thank my son, who always daily reminds me of the importance of work-life balance, and to make sure I leave work on time and make sure I get home and do homework and read. And so I thank you all for your support, and so proud of my fellow awardees here tonight for everything that they've done. Thank you.
Congratulations to all our installation winners. We're so lucky to have these men and women serving in uniform today. At this time, let me invite Paul to rejoin me here for our final 2 awards.
Hey, thanks. Thanks so much, Amy. It's before we go on to our next awards, it's my privilege to bring up one final installation commander, longstanding friend and colleague for us here in the area, and I would ask General Woody Woodworth to present the Camp Pendleton Award to Corporal Ariana Alcantar. And Woody, thanks.
All right, Corporal, come on up. I'm bringing you up early. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to bring Corporal Alcantara up here real quick and see what's wrong with her uniform. Because apparently you guys didn't get the memo in the program tonight that Corporal Alcantara is a sergeant in the Marine Corps as of... as of today. So I'm not sure what's wrong with SDMAC, but apparently we got it sorted out now. So Sergeant Alcantar is a aircraft rescue and firefighting Marine at MCAS Camp Pendleton, up on Camp Pendleton. She's a superstar. When we ask a lot of young Marines what we want from them is to say yes and get the job done. And this NCO does it in every way you can imagine possible. So I'm extremely proud to be here with you this evening. And Sergeant, we're proud of you all and appreciate everything you do every day, keeping Marines safe out there on the flight line, both in their aircraft training and learning how to do their jobs. She's a trainer, she's a EMT, she does it all, superstar Marine. Thanks for your efforts, and I wish you the best of luck in the future and more promotions.
Thank you, SDMAC, for having me here tonight, and thank you, a special shout out to MCAS Camp Pendleton. I didn't get here alone, guys. I owe it all to them, and shout out to the firefighters on the airfield right now. They're out there working while I enjoy dinner with you and some drinks, and it's awesome. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thanks, Woody, and thank you very much, Sergeant. Our achievement awards cannot be complete without a special recognition to a local San Diego nonprofit organization. Tony Teravanian, please join me. Support the Enlisted Project, better known as STEP, recently celebrated its 10th anniversary. Since its founding, it has supported countless military families as they dealt with the stress and uncertainty caused by food insecurity and financial hardships, with a focus not just on immediate relief, but also on bringing them to financial self-sufficiency, which I believe is a hallmark of STEP's approach. Tony, thank you for all you and Team STEP have done. If you'd like to say anything, the mic is yours.
We'll never ask a nonprofit guy if he wants the microphone. I said brief. There was no definition of what a brief comments were. But I would just like to thank all of you. And I'd like to thank y'all, SDMAC, this community on a lot of levels, because it's you. You're the reason that STEP was successful. STEP leadership is here. Military leadership is here. Community leadership is here. Clients are here. I mean, this military community is the community that held STEP up, embraced STEP, and really gave us the ability to bring this to this 10-year mark, which now we're looking at where it's going to take us in the next decade, which is really going to be great to show. And it was 10 years ago that a group of us, 6 founding board members, had a great idea to create STEP. Terry McGee is still here with us. Bill Boggs is still on the board. Ken Garber, some of y'all know him. And we came up with the idea to create a nonprofit to fill a gap that we saw, a gap in the existing services. And this was, yes, we need to help these military families that are suffering from this chronic financial crisis issue. But to what end are we providing this help? What's the long game? How can we make this crisis their last crisis? And with their help and my wife's permission, thank you, Jackie, the last 10 years have been a great ride on trying to make this work in our community. And through that time, you know, being able to help thousands of families, not just change their financial situations, but help their children and the people that they influence in their communities, help them change their financial situations for the rest of their life, and really help them become the people they want to be, the families they want to be, the parents they want to be, and help them achieve their full potential. It's really my honor to be part of that. So thank you all for supporting us.
And now our final award. The Bruce Bolin Lifetime Achievement Award was created to recognize someone from our community that demonstrated long-term exemplary service to both our military and civilian communities. This award is named in honor of Rear Admiral Bruce Bolin, whose naval career spanned more than 30 years and culminated with assignment of Commander Naval Base San Diego, the command we now call Navy Region. After his military career, Admiral Bolin continued to give to our community, serving as President and CEO of United Way of San Diego, serving as a founding member of Veterans Village of San Diego, and supporting the USO, where he co-founded the first USO Center at the San Diego Airport. Admiral Bolin was also an original member of the SDMAC Board of Directors. And tonight, SDMAC is proud to recognize retired Major General Anthony Jackson, United States Marine Corps, for his years of service to our country, our state, and our community. Major General Tony Jackson served as a United States Marine for 36 years with assignments in Iraq, Afghanistan, Japan, Korea, Kenya, and the Philippines. And following his final assignment as Commanding General of Marine Corps Installations West, he began serving the state of California and becoming the 19th Director of California State Parks. He was also asked to serve the governor as a member of the Military Council, a role he continues to serve today. Following his work with state parks, General Jackson continued to serve at the community level at Cal State San Marcos, where he served as their foundation's chair of the board and today as a director of the foundation's advisory committee. For your lifetime of service to our community, the state, and our nation, we say thank you, General Jackson.
I guess you should never turn down a mic. You never know when it's your last time speaking. And listen, the audience is kind of special because in this audience is people that I served with in September 1975. Jack, where are you, buddy? Jack Harkins? Jack, I saw you. You're hiding. Well, anyway, Jack and I had a conversation earlier, and it's amazing the road you travel. I'm so overwhelmed by this award because to me, service is what you do. And when I retired from the Marine Corps, after having the wonderful privilege of serving and being served by and being put on the shoulders and being lifted up on the shoulders of the equivalent of the young Coast Guard Marines and sailors that were introduced to you tonight, those people lifted me up to be a general officer. And as I watched them in their youth walk across this stage this evening, I knew that no matter what political party or bent that you had, what your opinions are about today's crisis and tomorrow's recession, et cetera, that this nation, because of them, is in great hands. Susan, my bride, we got married, I was telling somebody earlier, when I was a mid-semester senior in college. She was in grad school. And that was in January 1971. And when I pulled a surprise on her one day, instead of going to work, and I would join the Marine Corps, and she looked at me like I was out of my mind. I said, honey, it'll only be 3 years. And she has stuck with me. She built our house. She raised my 2 sons. And this award is for not just me, hon, but also for your sacrifice. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our award recipients tonight. What an incredible community we have here. Thank you for coming together tonight to honor our service members and General Jackson for his lifetime achievement and of service. We are so grateful to follow in your footsteps. And thank you for making this evening so special. Have a good night.
So not so fast. General Jackson thought these flowers were for him, but they're not. You know, it's actually a real privilege to be here as the board chair when we recognize Tony Jackson. When he was commander of Marine Corps Installations West, corresponded to the time that I was commander at Naval Hospital Camp Pendleton. And so I was able to sit on his council of colonels, so to speak, on the command, on the base, and be a part of that experience and learn a lot from you. And I've really appreciated the fact that our paths continue to cross day after day and week after week, even now. So thank you very much. Congratulations for that recognition. And especially, as you said it far better than I will, and so I won't do it for very long. But I certainly want to recognize and thank as well all of those that we have recognized tonight, all of our enlisted, our NCOs and officers, from each of the installations around town. And each of you know, as I did when I was junior, that you are yet one of so many of your own shipmates who are equally deserving and also a part of an incredible team. We're in good hands, and I congratulate each and every one of you, and I thank you and recognize you for your achievements, your activities, your professionalism, and your dedication that brought your commanders to the point of bringing you forward for SDMAC to recognize. So thank you for being part of our incredible fabric of our nation. And we are indeed in good hands as the rest of us age out of this, right? Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't thank our special Master of Ceremonies, Mistress of Ceremonies, for being with us tonight. And thank you for giving of your time and your treasure and talent in being with us. And I have enjoyed getting to know you over the last months, and so many here know you even better and know of your work over the past. And we appreciate you taking time to be a part of our special evening tonight. Thank you very much. And enjoy General Jackson's flowers.